Hello everyone, welcome you all to AI Ki Pathshala. I am your host Anup, and whatever session I am conducting, it's absolutely free of cost. Actually, I am offering free live classes to every one of you. So those of you who wants to join my free live session, you can go to the description section of the video and join my Telegram group from the link attached there. So we were doing the object-oriented programming, and today is the second session in public, private, and protected variable. So yesterday we have discussed some concepts inside it with the help of a code, and today we will be discussing few more codes. Thereafter, we will move to the next topic. So I am sharing you my screen. Just let me share you my screen and request you to code along with me. Don't sit idle. Keep on coding. And whenever you face any issue, you can ask questions. So I have already created one GitHub repository. You can see this advanced_Python. Today is the 11th session. So I created one repository. You guys should also create this one repository. And I'm going to clone this repository in VS Code. So I've opened the VS Code. And now let me clone this repository. So let's clone. This is the first thing that we used to do. Clone the repository. So fine. Let's clone. Now desktop, this desk, this AI.
Is advanced Python 11?
Yes, this is advanced Python 11. You can create one repository. So open. Fine. I trust the author. After cloning the repository, I'm creating one file. Let's create the name of the file practice1.py. Simple. So not py, I will discuss ipynb. So I created one ipynb file. Select the kernel, Python environment, everything done. Fine. So yesterday we have discussed a lot of things. So we are going to repeat some concept from the previous session, and we are going to learn some new concept here. So let's see what is the new thing. So I will be writing one code and you should type along with me. You should keep on writing the same code along with me. And thereafter, with the help of the code, I am going to tell you the concept, because theoretically it is difficult to understand. With the help of code, it is easy to understand. So let's write one code. I am writing one class, and the name of this class is my class. Fine. This is the name of my class. Inside this class, I am defining one init function. I have defined one init, and this init has been defined. And inside this init, I am defining few variables. Let's write the name of first variable as self.public_var. This is my public variable, and I am assigning some values. Let's assign value 10. Since
So what
I have
will
attached
here?
What?
After opening this advanced Python, then plus sign this practice session.
Yes, you can write whatever name you want to write. It's up to you. You have to create ipynb file, because I am discussing this thing in ipynb file.
Practice.ipynb.
Yes, practice.ipynb. Fine.
Okay.
Thereafter, I am defining one another variable inside the same class, self._, and the name of this variable is protected variable. I am writing the name protected_var, and here I am giving some value, let's say 20. Since see here, let me write this also, thereafter I will explain you. Self dot underscore underscore, I am writing double underscore here, and this private, writing private underscore var, and I am giving the value 30, let's say. See,
So yesterday,
yes,
the file which we created in VS Code, we could not finally send to repository.
no, I have already sent the file to the repository.
No, for my file, I mean, I just forgot to do
So
that.
you can send it anytime. You can send it anytime. That won't be issue. You can open this thing in a new window, and that your previous window will in your system. So you can.
No, I am still confusion, so I will learn from you later on.
Okay, fine. You can after the class you can discuss. Just wait for a few minutes. This is a very simple thing. Fine. Right now, discuss this thing. So see what I have done. Inside this init function, I have defined 3 variables. First is my public variable. And before public variable, can you see any underscore? No. Because whatever variable is a public variable, we do not put any underscore. Whatever variable is a protected variable, we put single underscore. So here single underscore is there, and whatever variable is a private variable, we put double underscore. And I assign these values inside this variable. So this is the first thing. Thereafter, I am writing one method. This is the init method. Thereafter, I am writing one another method inside this variable, and I am giving the name of this method as show variables. This is simply nothing. It's the name of my variable. So variables, fine. And inside this variable, let me write something. So first thing I want to print what I want to print. I want to print this thing. Let me write public variable here. Public variable, and close this, and let's put colon here, and then like self dot public var. Closing this. Second thing that I want to write inside this is print private variable, self dot private variable. No, private not. I want to write it here as a protected variable. So this is not, write this as protected variable. Same here, it will come protected. So underscore protected variable. Fine. So this I have written. Now third thing I want to write here, print private variable, self dot underscore private variable, and close this. So inside this method, I have written 3 things, 3 print statement. First print statement, I have written to print the public variable, this public variable. Second print statement, I have written to print the protected variable, and third print statement, I have written to protect the to print the private variable. Now, this is what I have created this class. Now, after creating the class, what is the second thing that I used to do? So after creating the class, what is the second thing that I used to do? I used to create the object of this class. So how will you create an object? Let's create an object of this class. Object is equal to, let's create my class. So object of this class is created. Now, after creating the object, I want to access the variables that I have defined. So let's first run these code. I'm running this first code and this code. So my class has been created, my object has been created, I have rendered, and now let's see what I'm going to do. First thing that I would like to tell you that, let's say if you want to access, which we have already discussed in the previous sessions, during the last session, if I want to access this public variable, how can you access this public variable? Let's see, you have to print object, obj object. With the help of object, you are able to
You
access this.
chosen which we have chosen which environment.
I have chosen Python 3.11.3. Can you see? This environment is already created. I have just chosen that.
But it's not there in my.
No, if you can choose any environment, you can choose 3 point, whatever environment is present in you, you can choose it. But
Not
I
showing
suppose,
point something.
so what is the environment that it is showing?
It is only showing Python environment and
Just
then
select Python environment. Just select Python environment.
the server पता नहीं है.
Yes, just select Python environment.
After then showing 3.11.4
Bus, fine, select it.
Anaconda 3
Fine, select it.
3.11.4.
Fine, yes, select.
Okay.
So see, I want to access the public variable. For accessing the public variable, what is the what I used to do? Object dot public variable. And if I run this code, let's say if I am running, I am getting this 10. This 10. This is a public variable. Now let's do one thing. Let's access the protected variable. So how can I access the protected variable? I will write here underscore protected variable. So this, with the help of this code, I access my protected variable. So protected variable value is 20. So I'm able to access this 20. Now, very important thing, if the same thing I will do with the private variable, I will not be able to access the private variable, because we have already discussed, you cannot access the private variable directly with the help of an object. So private variable, if let's say if I try to access this private variable, I'm getting an error. My class object has no attribute underscore private variable. So these things we already have done. So there is a workaround that we have already discussed to access the private variable. So what was the workaround? The workaround is that for accessing the private variable, you have to access it like this. Object dot, you have to first give it a underscore, class name, my class, class, and then you have to give it like this. If you will access, you are able to access the private variable. So this thing is already clear to you guys. Now let's see, this is one way to access public and private variable. Now I have defined one method inside it, and inside this method I am defining this I'm calling my public variable, I'm calling my protected variable, and I'm calling my private variable. Now let's see what happens if I call this method. If I just call my method with the help of the object, if I am calling this method, what happens? So let's write obj object dot show variable. Show variable is my method which I have defined. This is the method which I have defined inside my class. Fine. Now let's run this and see what happens. You can see I am able to access this private variable with the help of this method. What it means, you can able to access the private variable inside your class. So this method is defined inside my class. This method is where present inside my class. And inside this class, this method is there, and I'm calling this private variable inside my class. So that's why I'm able to access the private variable inside the class. But you are not able to access the your private variable outside of your class. But here, since my method is inside my class and I'm calling this private variable inside this method, so in that case, I'm able to access this private variable. This is the main reason of explaining you these things. So can you understand the difference between how this method, through the help of the method, you can able to access your private variables also. So this is one code. So if you have any confusion, you can ask questions, or I can move to the next code.
I'm also getting this public variable unterminated string literal. What is the syntax error?
Yes, you
So
have
you have not terminated your string. That's why you have not
Which is
given this double string, double sorry, what do you call this?
error.
apostrophe.
Yes, double apostrophe. You have to close these things with double apostrophe. That's why you are getting this error. That error. Check. Have you given it or not?
Yes, I was not given. Now it is okay.
Then it is okay. Fine. So let's write my class as my class name, and thereafter I am writing this def underscore underscore init and self. So keep typing. Now let me define one public variable. So let's define the public variable by this name. Self dot name is equal to, let give it a name, public variable. Public variable. Fine. After that, I'm defining one another variable, self dot underscore, let's write some balance, 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 and balance is equal to, let's write some balance 100. Fine. After that, this is a protected variable because single underscore is coming here. After that, I am writing self dot underscore underscore, let's write account number, account underscore number. Fine. And let's write some account number. I'm writing some account number, HDFC 0030. Let's write this is account number. Let's assume this is the account number. So these are the three variables. One is the public, one is the private, one is the protected, and one is the private variable that I have written here. So there also comes a concept of name mangling. In case of name, I will discuss this at the end of this code. Name mangling. Fine. Now let me write one method. In case of method, there is also called public method, protected method, and private method. Just like in case of variable, there is a public variable, protected variable, and private variable. In the same way, there is something called public. I am writing here for your understanding, public method. There is something called public method. So now this time I am going to define a method which is public. So how you will define a public method? You will define a public method in the same way you have defined the public variable. So just write the name of the method. I am writing this name as display underscore balance, let's say balance. and write self here and this thing. And now I want, through this method, I want to return what I want to return, account balance I want to return. So let me write here account balance, ACCOUNT, account balance. Fine. And let's write, what is the account balance? Account balance is, let's write self dot underscore balance. This balance I'm talking about. Fine. This is a little bit complex code, so I will explain you. So this is a public method. Why this is a public method? Because at the time of defining this method, the name of this method is display underscore balance. I'm not attaching any underscore before it. Now, in the same way, let's define one protected method. So I'm writing the protected method here. This is a protected method. For the protected method, same def will come first, and after that, let's write something called update balance. So underscore update underscore balance. You can see, and I want to also write amount inside this, so I'm writing this amount. You can see here, since this is a protected method, so I have attached one underscore before the name of this method. Update underscore balance is my method name, and since this is a protected method, I am attaching underscore before this update underscore balance. And after that, let's write something called, after that, let's update the balance. So what I want to write inside this? Simply I want to write self dot underscore balance is equal to plus is equal to amount. Now, after that, I am defining one more method, and this will be my private method. So how will you define private method? We know for defining in the same way, for defining a private method, we have to write double underscore before the name of this method. So I have written first double underscore, and thereafter write some method name. I am writing the method name as update underscore account number. Let's write account number. Fine. So instead of this account number, let's write here new number. New underscore number. So let's define this. Inside this method, what I am writing? Self dot underscore account number is equal to new number. So till here, I have finished writing my code. So I wanted to write this much code only. After that, I will just access all these things and understand. So let's first understand what I have done here. Very important thing. I'm explaining it once again. Here, I suppose there is no issue till here. We already have understood these things. Just like we have defined the variables as public, protected, and private, in the same way, we are here writing the methods as public, private, and protected method. So this is my public method. because I have not attached any underscore before writing this method. What I want to do, this method will return me account balance, and I am calling self dot underscore balance. So this balance will be called here. And this, if I will call this method, it will display me the account balance. It will write this print statement account balance, and after that, whatever be the account balance that I will pass here, it will be reflected here. This method will return me that balance. So this is clear. Now comes the protected method. So protected method, I have attached one single underscore and written self comma amount. Why I have written amount? Because I want to update my balance. So I am passing one more variable amount here. Now what it is doing? Self dot underscore balance. This thing, self dot underscore balance is this. So this thing, what I have written, you know this thing? It means self dot underscore balance is equal to self dot underscore balance plus amount. It simply means this thing. So what I am doing, I am updating my balance. So my initial balance was, let's say, 100. So I'm updating this. So what it will do? It will first it will write then whatever amount I am supplying here, it will add that amount to this balance and give me the final updated balance. So this is what this method is doing. Now comes the private method. What the private method is doing? Private method is in the same way. Private method is updating the account number. So this is my initial account number, and now I am updating this. I am assigning a new account number with this method. So this is my new account number, which I will supply here, and that get updated by this method. So this is the work that all these three methods are doing. And now let's understand this one by one by running the code and calling the object. So now let's do one thing. Let's first run this code. I'm running this code. Fine, this code has been run. Now I'm creating the object of my class. This is a my class. So let's create the object. Object is equal to my class. My class, I'm creating the object. Fine, my object has been created. Now after creating the object, first thing that I want to do, I'm one by one, I'm doing same thing which I have done earlier. So let's first access all the variables which I have defined here. So I'm accessing, first I am going to access this public variable. What is the public variable here? Can you tell me? Ruchi, can you tell me what is the public variable here?
A name.
Name. Fine.
Self-name.
Self-name. So how can I access this public variable? Simply I will write obj object dot name. If I will write this, my public variable will be accessed. This public variable I am able to access. I can also write print statement here, print. So it will be better. So this public variable is accessed. Now, thereafter, I want to access the protected variable. So how can I access the protected variable? Simply I will write the name of the variable. What is the name? What is my public protected variable name? What is my protected variable name?
Balance. Self-balance.
Underscore balance.
Underscore balance.
So I will write here underscore balance, balance, and let's run this. So I'm able to access this variable also. this protected. Now, in the same way, if I want to access this this variable, private variable, I will not be able to access my private variable. What is my private variable here? Can you tell me? What is my private variable? This account number is my private variable. Fine. So let's access this
Why
private.
I'm getting my class object has no attribute name?
No attribute name.
Yeah.
So I have to look. You see what is the wrong that you are doing, because if you are doing something wrong in writing this, then you will get the error. If you are doing everything correct, then you will not get an error. So see, check it. So this protected variable, if I will try to access, I will get an error. So what is the workaround to access this private variable? The workaround is like you have to give the name of the class. So what is the name of my class? My class. So underscore my class. Then if you will access this, you will be able to access this private variable. So from here, everything is fine till here. Now, I want to access my methods which I have defined here. So let's access the method one by one. The methods that I have defined here. My first method is display balance. So let's access this method. First method is my display balance. So this is my first method, display balance. So let's access this method. How can you access this method? With the help of object dot display balance. Let's put a print statement, print, and let's write. And this is a public method, so you can able to access it directly. There's no issue in that. Print object dot display underscore balance. Okay, I have to put here this thing. Fine. Now run it again. So I'm able to access my display balance, this method, public method. So this is going to return me account balance, self dot underscore balance, this balance. So I'm able to access this balance here. Fine. Now I want to access my protected method. So for accessing the protected method, I have to call that protected method in the same way. So let's write print, and thereafter write obj object. With the help of object, I wanted to access my protected variable. And what is my protected variable? Name of my protected variable is protected method is underscore update balance is the name of my protected method. So I have to write protected method underscore update account number. Underscore update balance, this thing. So let's access this. Let's run this. Missing one record. Okay, fine. So why I'm getting this error? Because can you see here, I have to pass, when I am calling this method, protected method, I have to pass this amount also, whatever amount I want to update, because initially the balance is 100 and I want to update that balance. So I have to also pass the balance amount here. Well, I was calling this method. So let's give me any amount. Tell me, Ruchi, any amount that you want to update. Tell me any amount.
30.
30? Okay, 30. Fine. So let's run it again. So why I'm going to underscore print object dot underscore update underscore balance. So I am getting this 30. Okay. Okay, fine. Yes. So see what is happening. So this here, I will not get any print statement, because if I will even print it, I will not get I will get none, because see, so just remove the print statement from here and just simply run this. So what is happening in this method? I have not given any print statement inside this method. So this method will not be able to give me or return me anything. It will simply update the balance. And here, if you can see, if you want to see the updated balance, then you have to check, you have to call this method, this display balance, because the balance is, earlier the balance was 100. Now you have updated the balance by 30 rupees. So if you want to see the, again, if you want to see the new balance, you have to call this method, display balance. So if I will call this method, I will get my updated balance. So let's call this method, and I can print it also, because that is returning me some value. So for the display balance, you have to call this display balance, and I'm calling this, and now let's run this. Can you see the account balance is 160? Why the account balance has become 160? Because I have updated the balance twice. That's why first time it is updated by 30, then second time it is updated by 30. If we will, I will again run this. Let's see if I will again run this cell and again access this, it will, balance is again updated by 190. Again, if I will run this, and again if I will run this, so every time I will run this cell, the balance will get updated by 30, and every time when I call this display balance method, I will get the updated balance. Now, final thing is that the private method, because till here everything is fine. We have understood this public method here and protected method. Now comes the private method. So how do you call the private method? Just like in case of the variable, you are calling the private method through the help of class. You are not able to call the private method with the help of, simply with the help of object. You have to call the private method through the object, through the class only. So if I want to call the private method, I have to call my class. Fine. So let's first understand what I wanted to, I have written inside this private method, this update account number. So now to update the account number, I have to give a new account number, new number. That means new account number. Then it will update my previous account number, this account number, it will update this account number with this, with the new account number. So let's call the private method. So first I have to give some account number. So first what I will do, I will call object dot, then I will put underscore my class, my CLASS class, then underscore update account number, and then inside it I have to give a new account number. So Mr. Misra sir, give me any account number, new account number. Please give me any new account number.
ICIC.
ICIC
4978.
4978. Fine. So this, let's update this. So by calling, when I have run this method, so this account number has been updated. Now I want to see my new account number. Fine. Then and only I will be able to understand where is my, what is my account number, new account number. For the new account number, I have to call this variable underscore underscore account underscore number. So let's call this new variable. So for that, I have to call this variable. So this private variable. So what is this private variable? Object dot underscore my class. We can call the because that is a private variable, so we have to call the private variable through the class only. So I have to first write the class, thereafter I have to write underscore account number, account account underscore number. Fine. So this is what it is here, account number, underscore account underscore number. Fine. So if I will run this code, let's see what happens. My class object had no attributes, underscore my class account number object dot underscore my class. Okay. Oh, I have written something wrong here. Instead of capital C, I have to give small c here. So now let's call C. The new account number that I have given, ICIC 4978, has been updated. So this is a little bit of complex code, and I have given you this code to make you understand that just like the variables, there can be a method which is a public method or a protected method or a private method. So same thing, same rule will be there for the methods also. And if there is a private method, you have to call this private method through the class only. You are not able to call this private method directly with the help of object. You can see here, I am calling this private method through the class only. That's why object dot underscore my class I am writing. Then I am writing the name of this private method. And when I am writing this private method, I have to write this double underscore. And after that, when I want to, what this method is doing, this method is simply updating my account number. And when I have finally updated my account number, I want to see what is my new account number, because my account number is updated. So for seeing my new account number, I have to call, and my new account number is present where? My new account number is present in my private variable, and this is my private variable. So I have to call the private variable to see my new account number. Same thing I will do. I will call through the object directly. I am not able to call it. So I will call first, I will write object dot and with the help of class underscore my class. Then I have to write the name of this private method, since private variable. Since this is a private variable, I have to attach double underscore. And when I am doing this, I am able to access this this method. Fine. Fine.
Please show me the code. I'm not able to see. Starting from the second one. Not just above the slide. Few slides above. A little more. Hold on.
So that's all for the day, guys. So we are ending the session today. So keep watching, keep commenting. So whatever doubts you guys are having, please try to put it in the comment section of the video. so that I will take the doubts separately, and I will try to answer all of your doubts. Thanks for watching.